It's great. 25 minutes going like flash. It certainly did, didn't it?
I thought we had another 5 minutes.
No, 9 o'clock is, you see. Well, you're quite right about 25 minutes going like a flash. It really did.
It did go fast, but it wasn't bad, actually.
Next Monday, Panorama returns to BBC One with the first programme in a new series. Among next week's items will be a report from Rhodesia on how the country's inhabitants, white and black, see their future. Panorama next Monday at 8:10. On BBC Two now, Drama in 1990. Here on One in a moment, the 9 o'clock news.
Programmes for Tuesday evening on BBC One. At 7:15, the wonderful world of Disney and the adventures of Rusty, the city fox.
You say it's over now and that good things don't last.
At 8 o'clock, David Essex.
You won't change your mind, it's all in the past. We laughed our laughs in such a very short time. Now it's all over, no need to be kind.
The fourth heat of Mastermind at 8:30 comes from the City University in London. At 9:25, Dave Allen at large.
You ever notice that? Every time I look at him, he looks away. Is he looking at me now?
At 10:10, Italia, Italia, a personal perspective of Italy by Peter Nichols, for 20 years Rome correspondent of The Times. With tonight at 11 o'clock, these are the programmes for Tuesday evening on BBC One. Details in Radio Times.
And a reminder that the North West Zone programme showing tonight, introduced by Nick Clark, is tomorrow night at 6:45 here on One. Back to tonight, and at 9:25, the Monday film is Honkers, starring James Coburn. First, the news with Angela Rippon.
Manchester United are banned from European football after the fighting involving their fans in France last week. Figures today show that prices rose twice as fast as earnings during Phase 2. Mr Foote condemns Mrs Thatcher's referendum idea for union disputes as dangerous and absurd. A lone sailor is rescued in mid-Atlantic after failing to cross from Canada to Ireland. And if there's oil in Antarctica, who does it belong to? We report on the Antarctic Treaty Conference. Good evening. Manchester United have been barred from this season's European Cup Winners' Cup following crowd riots before a match in France last week. United's opponents, St Etienne, have been given a bye into the next round. The decision has shocked Manchester United officials, and they say they'll appeal. The trouble began 45 minutes before the kick-off. There were fistfights, bottles were thrown, and the police moved in. 33 people were taken to hospital. The European Football Union said today they'd imposed the ban to safeguard the interests of European football and the security of football spectators. Reporting on how Manchester has reacted to the ban, David Davies.
The news came as a complete surprise to club officials here at the home of Manchester United, Old Trafford. I broke the news to many of them this morning and they were shocked. But as one of them told me, it's our bad record in the past that's really harmed us now, not just what happened at St Etienne last Wednesday night. The players training this morning were particularly angry. They'd been looking forward to the return game with St Etienne in Manchester next week. So too had their manager, Dave Sexton. Victory in that match could have led to a financially rewarding run in the competition. Expulsion could cost them each several £1,000s.
I still can't believe it. It's so ridiculous for words as far as I'm concerned.
Why is it so ridiculous? Because of the reputation?
Because of what reputation? United fans, as far as I'm concerned, as a player of Manchester United, have got nothing at all to do with me. We went over there and we played, well, we give an advert of football, let's be honest, both teams. I mean, we're getting condemned for something we haven't done. And we played a game.
Last Saturday, 3 days after the troubles at St Etienne, Chelsea supporters were involved in more fighting with United supporters, this time outside Old Trafford. The police had a desperate task in keeping the two sides apart. United have had to put up with the hooligans amongst their supporters for several years now, but never before has the team itself actually lost a match because of them. Have United, though, and their supporters club done enough?
I'm absolutely convinced that Manchester United as a football club, and certainly the supporters club movement, is doing everything it possibly can to ensure trouble-free travel arrangements to any match, whether it be in this country or abroad. Unfortunately, we have no control over the individual supporters who do not wish to be stewarded or supervised, who are prepared to make their own way to away matches with or without tickets, gain entry either from the black market supply, by payment at the turnstiles where home clubs allow it to happen, even jump the turnstiles and force their way into grounds. These people we have no control over.
With most tickets for the return against St Etienne sold, there is optimism at United that their appeal may be successful. And today the club received some sympathy from the Sport Minister, Mr Dennis Howell.
I'm disappointed that UEFA have not waited until till they've received a letter which I intended to send and which I've been in touch with them about over recent days, following the report I've had from my Foreign Office representative who was at the match. And it's quite clear there were a lot of deficiencies on the home club side. It's also quite clear that the official Manchester United supporters club behaved themselves quite well and did everything exactly as we asked them to. There seemed to be a group of about 150 Manchester United supporters who caused a lot of the trouble, who didn't go with the official supporters club, went 2 or 3 days early. I want to know how they got tickets for that match. On the other hand, I will understand UFA's position. They hold the club responsible for all its followers and supporters and always have done. And indeed, the British Football Association is rather inconsistent in being members of UEFA and supporting that policy for European matches and not supporting it for home matches.
In that report, Fiona Johnson was talking to the Minister of Sport and David Davis was reporting from Manchester. The Football Association has suspended the former England manager Don Revie from any involvement in English football until he personally attends a meeting to answer charges of bringing the game into disrepute. The charges concern Revie's decision to resign as England manager and take control of the national side in the United Arab Emirates. Revie has previously said he will not defend the charges. And the Football League clubs have accepted a new deal over players' contracts. It gives players the right to change clubs to negotiate transfer fees. The Professional Footballers Association, which had been prepared to call a strike over the issue, say they will discuss the deal with the league, but the association secretary, Cliff Lloyd, said he doubted if the players would accept it. They wanted a set formula for deciding transfer fees, and it should not be negotiated by the clubs. Prices went up twice as fast as earnings during Phase 2 of the pay policy, according to the latest government figures. They show that in the 12 months up to the end of July, prices went up by 17.6% and wages by 8.8%.